Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. Everybody good tonight?
Yes.
Everybody excited?
Yes.
Have you secured the bag already?
No.
Nice. So I wanted to say thank you to NABA, Lincoln Chapter, and also SGA for the invitation to be here tonight. It's definitely a pleasure and an honor. So thank you. All of you Lincoln students, professors, staff, thank you for your attendance tonight as well. So you come here tonight to secure the bag. Am I right?
Yes,
ma'am. Secure the bag means different things to different people. And tonight, my perspective is going to come from how do you secure the bag for personal, financial security. I want you to take out a sheet of paper, or you can use your tablet, your phone, that's fine. And I want you to write down 5 financial goals. What would you like to do? Where would you like to go? If you had any amount of money, unlimited resources, what would you do with the money? Where would you like to go? What would you like to do? I'm going to give you a few seconds to write that down. Some of you have had dreams for years growing up. If I had this, I had this, I had that. Take a moment to write that down. I just want at least 5. If you keep on going, it's fine, it's cool. Everybody has about 5 at least. Somebody having a hard time. If you had unlimited resources, what would you buy? What would you do with the money? Where would you go? Where would you go? Okay, what would you do? Okay. So I see a couple of people are still going at it. Everybody has at least 5, right? Okay. Now, I want to see who's not afraid to share. I just want 5. I don't want the full 10 or 20 that you've been able to write down. I just want to know 5, okay, in the back. If you can stand up, state your name, and then give us your 5.
Hello, my name is Jordan Griffin. The 5 things I've listed was buy my parents and myself a house, pay all college expenses for me, my 2 little brothers, and if my mom has any loans left over, travel to Dubai, buy a new car, and a front row seat to a Kyrie Irving game.
Okay, nice. I'm going to touch on a couple of those things, so that's great. My next volunteer here.
Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Nkechi. I'm a senior nursing major. So my 5 financial goals is to become a fashion influencer, go to medical school, invest in real estate, especially around college campuses like Philadelphia and Madison, and also go into real estate in tourist places like Barbados and all that other tourist sites. Also invest in agriculture because I'm from an African country and that's a good business. Also get my teeth done. I want to
take somebody else that's not a NAB member. Other hand that I see over there. Okay,
Good evening, everyone. Nathan Evans, Google Kappa, Cybersecurity Incorporated. Google for the sale of Jamaica. 5 financial goals of mine: pay off student loans, open a gym, buy a house, travel to Egypt, and invest in a charity.
That's nice. Okay, let's Thank you for sharing your goals. And by pronouncing them, I believe you speak life to your goals. When you speak something out loud, it becomes a part of your mind. You download it. And then your mind works to try and get to those goals. So thank you for sharing. So good or bad, watch your words. Tonight, I selected a couple of items to talk about financial goals, which we'll kind of go through a little bit more. A millionaire mindset. What does it take from a mental standpoint to reach your financial goals? Then we'll talk about financial management. Because it's nothing worse than having money and not knowing what to do with it, right? Credit score, that was something that you all wanted to hear about. Student loans, and then lastly, I'll share a bit of my career advice with you. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Financial goals. I had you to write down your financial goals, but can you guess some of what my financial goals are?
Debt free, travel.
Drive an Infinity. I had that one before I went to college. That was on my list. Little to no debt. I think I heard something about that and paying off student loans. Travel to at least 10 countries. I actually wrote that one about 5 years ago. Give to church, nonprofits, and charities, and then guilt-free shopping. Who likes to shop? Yes. But do you like to look at the bill?
No.
Me either. That's why I want to do guilt-free shopping. I know shopping. Okay, if I spent X number of dollars, then I spend it on myself and I could afford it, right? And I can not feel guilty about the things that I want. So as we go through and talk about our financial goals, you've listed your financial goals. I've realized some of these, right? And not all of them. A couple of them are coming up really soon. Barbados is one of them. So I want you to think about your financial goals and how are you going to achieve them? Because there's a biblical verse that says, without a vision, the people perish. If your vision is your financial goals, you have to have a plan in order to get to that vision, in order to make it real, right? There's nothing more than a dreamer staying asleep. You have to have a plan to get there. So what does it take? A millionaire mindset. Who wants to be a millionaire? Who believes they can be a millionaire? More hands. Okay. So let's do a roll call so I can see who's in the place. All of my freshmen, let me see your hands.
There you go.
Couple of freshmen. Okay, all right. Sophomores, where are you? Okay, couple of sophomores, nice. This will be great, okay. Juniors? Nice, the juniors are trying to take over. What about the seniors? Great, great. So a lot of things, what I'll talk about will apply to you graduating seniors because you're finishing up your last semester. Some of you have secured jobs already, your degree job, I like to call it. And some of you are working, right? So some of the concepts and information that I'll share will apply to you the most. But all of you, this will be important because the financial principles and concepts that I'll share tonight will help you in developing the millionaire mindset to get to your goals. So let's get into it. The second word is mindset. So in order to have a millionaire mindset, there's a biblical verse that says, as a man thinketh, so he becomes. Your mind is very important. What you think about is who you become. If you think negatively about who you are, about what other people say about you, then that's the direction you will move into. But if you think positively, and you say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy a house for my mom. I'm going to build buildings, right, in parts of Africa and the university, and do all of these great things. It starts with the mind. Instead of saying, I can't afford it, say, how can I afford it? It's important to say the right thing. I can't afford it. Does that make you feel good?
No.
It's depressive thinking. It's depressive behavior, right? You feel like I'm struggling, I'm trying to figure out this, I want to get this, but I can't. But when you say, how can I afford it? It forces your mind to think about ways to get there. Questions all legal action, right? But how can I afford it, right? Can I partner with someone to open up a business, to do hair, or I have a product or an idea, right? How can I afford it instead of I can't afford it? A couple of books that I read, I'm reading, that have been great, instrumental in my development, in my personal financial growth. Think and Grow Rich. What's the first word in that book?
Think.
Think. You have to think the right thoughts, speak the right words in order to grow rich, right? So this book I read shortly after college, and what was important was not from a financial perspective, but it was also great from a personal and professional perspective, so I encourage you to read that book. The next one is The Millionaire Next Door. Has anybody heard of that book? Okay. Yes. In this book, I read this one in college, really talked about understanding millionaires. They don't typically drive fancy cars, live in luxurious homes. Some of them actually live next door. They could have lived next door in your neighborhood where you grew up, in your community, and you just didn't know it because they weren't flashy, but they were millionaires. How do you know somebody is a millionaire? It's a misconception. The Millionaire Next Door, I read that book, and like I said, it was about debunking really the myths about what millionaires actually do and their behaviors and things of that nature. When I graduated from the University of Memphis, I purchased a Toyota Echo. Not the most luxurious car, but it was mine. It was affordable. I had a good car note, right? So I knew I wasn't going to be struggling. I had obtained a job at Cummins Engine Company, working as an accountant. I started as a junior, stayed on, and secured a full-time position. So I had a car. I was happy about it. I was excited. It wasn't my first car. My first car was a Toyota Camry. The box one. The old, like 80s, old, like 70s old. That car had been passed down to me. That car had been passed down to me from my older sister. I was happy to drive it. Who doesn't want to ride the bus? I'd rather drive the car than ride the bus, right? So I was happy about it, I thank God. But it was time to move on. And I had the Echo, the Toyota Echo, again, not the most fancy car, but I drove it, and I kept the car, had a car note, paid it for 5 years. How long did I keep it?
Still got it?
No. No. I kept the car for 8 years, which means I had 3 years without a car note. Now, reading this book, it's like, okay, I have no car note. Let me take this car note money and pay down on another bill that I have, like my student loan. So I'm not using it to go out and purchase something else. I'm actually maximizing my financial security by paying off my loan faster. Now, 8 years later, I went out and got a car that I wanted. You know what that was, right?
Your Infinity.
Yeah! I love that Infinity. It was the G37 SX, which means it had a sports package on it. was delayed gratification, right there. As a millionaire, your millionaire mindset, you can have these dreams, you can have these wishes. Like I said, I wrote down Drive an Infinity back in high school, but I didn't realize it until 8 years later. Because delayed gratification allows you to maintain your financial security, right? The next book I want to talk about is The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey has a radio show and a podcast out of Nashville, Tennessee, and it's very good because he talks about how to get out of debt, maximize your money. So if you haven't heard of Dave Ramsey, you should know Dave Ramsey because he talks to millionaires all day long on his podcast, on his radio show. Now, what was significant about The Total Money Makeover with Dave Ramsey is he talked about a couple in their 20s who decided that they were going to put their money together and have a financial goal. The young man's grandfather told him, pay cash for everything. Don't watch your money, watch your spending. He told him pay cash for everything. So he and his young bride got together and they decided that they were going to pay cash for a house. Pay cash. A house. Both of them were working. They said, okay, this is what we'll do. They decided to live in their parents' basement for 3 years in order to save money. And after 3 years, well, during the 3 years, I'll say, their friends made fun of them. Like, why are you living in your parents' basement? Like, we just graduated college, we have our jobs. Like, it's time to have a good time, right? It's like, no, we got a plan. They limited their going out, they limited spending, they didn't make unnecessary purchases, and after 3 years, they were able to pay $80,000 for cash for a house. $80,000 in 3 years. Now, while their friends have a 15, 20, 30-year mortgage, they're already in their house with no mortgage. Now, the significance of that is your mortgage is generally 40 to 60% of your salary. So they're reclaiming all of that. It's just a 3-year, it was just 3 years. Delayed gratification, and their friends are under, not slavery, but 30-year mortgage. Which would you take?
3 years in the basement.
But that causes for sacrifice. Are you ready and prepared to have the millionaire mindset to get what you want? The last book I'll tell you about is Everyday Millionaire by Chris Hogan. Now, this is a more up-to-date book of an extensive research of 10,000 millionaires to understand their habits, how do they spend, what do they spend it on, how do they acquire their wealth. This is a really good book. So I highly recommend you reading this book as well. And here's what I'll tell you. What everyday millionaires do and what they don't do. Everyday millionaires believe they can be millionaires. So we have most of the people in the room who said that they believe they can be millionaires, right? What's number 2? Reject the voices. That's what the young couple did. Their friends, the negativity, all of that. Like, nope, we're going to stay focused on what we want to do. Number 3, they put their heads down and they went to work. You have to be willing to make the sacrifices. You have to be willing to put the money where it should be so that you can have the financial freedom that you want. You want to know what they don't do? They don't care about impressing people. Are you surprised by that?
No.
They don't let their humble beginnings stop them from winning. Some of their parents weren't wealthy. They didn't come from a trust fund and have that to rely on. Some of them, the youngest one in their family, maybe a family of 6 or 5 or 7 or 3. But they didn't let their humble beginnings stop them from becoming a millionaire. And lastly, they don't give up when things get hard. Again, the sacrifice, the intention, knowing what your vision is, having a plan, knowing your goal. So in honor of Black History Month, which I hope you all celebrate 365 days, because when you walk in a room, that's what you are. I wanted to share with you a couple of people who are Black, wealthy individuals who put their head down and they worked and obtained millions and billionaire status. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you know who Robert F. Smith is. Can you stand up and announce it? Because I don't think everybody heard. Can you state your name?
Daquan Thompson, business management major, minor entrepreneurship senior, and Robert F. Smith just finished paying off students that go to Morehouse. What is it? Student tuition.
Student loan.
Student loans.
Absolutely. So when you become a millionaire, you can do the same thing as Robert F. Smith. Does anybody know who Reginald Lewis is? Nobody knows who Reginald F. Lewis is. Reginald Lewis. Nobody knows Reginald Lewis. Can you raise your hand? Who's that? You say you know? No. These are business people. You know? Okay, can you stand up?
D.A. Hughes is there as the vice president.
He was one of the first Black billionaires because he built a billionaire company called Beatrice Holdings. And he sold that company. To take the money and buy into something else. So I advise you, I challenge you to go look up these individuals if you don't know them to learn more. Because the thing about it is this, if they can do it, we can do it, right? Now, financial management. As I mentioned, I had an internship at Cummins and secured a full-time job. And I had to put my financial management to practice. And when you graduate, a lot of you are seniors, you graduated seniors, you'll have to put these financial principles to practice as well. You'll obtain an annual salary, which I hope you negotiated, because you should always negotiate it. One thing my cousin told me before, when I was negotiating one of my salaries for a company, so you always throw that back. They slide you a number, don't get excited about it. Don't get excited. Well, because of the nature of the job and who I am and my skill sets, this is the number, right? And then you end up meeting them in the middle. That's just the nugget. I hope y'all got that. With annual salary, you'll have living expenses, right? You'll have your fixed expenses, rent, utilities, and then you'll have your variable expenses, your food, your clothing, groceries, and things of that nature. And of course, your obligations. How many people have student loans? All right. Yes, we're going to pay those off very fast. Other debt, credit cards. Who doesn't have a credit card? No, I want to see everyone who doesn't have a credit card. No disrespect, no disrespect. No disrespect. Savings. to buy and do some of the things that you like to do. So say 10%. Now, one of Dave Ramsey's tip is, in order to get out of debt, is you should save $1,000 for emergency funds. You know, things like when a car breaks down or unexpected bill comes that you have to pay, you should save up $1,000. That's on top of your 10%. Building a monthly budget. Who has a budget? Wow, you guys are on a roll. Having a monthly budget means that you are assigning your money specifically for a purpose. If you don't have a budget, your money is going to leave your hands much faster than if you didn't. So it's important that you allocate every dollar from your salary for your expenses, right? Your salary, you'll have your living expenses, your debt, and your budget, right? You should do all of that. There is an app called there's banking apps that will help you with budgeting, and then there's another app called Every Dollar. Every Dollar Budget app will help you with budgeting as well. Retirement. Sounds like a long distance thing. Stand up if you think it's crazy to save for retirement right now. Just stand up. I want to see who all is. Now, it's okay. Just stand up if you think it's crazy to save for retirement right now. Stand up. Stand up. Don't be afraid. Stand up. If you think it's crazy to save for retirement, you're just about to graduate. Like, why should I save for retirement? Stand up. It's okay. All right. All right. Now y'all have to see. Stand up if you think you should be saving for retirement right now. We have a couple of people that are on the fence. Said that they became a millionaire because of their employee-sponsored retirement plan. Okay, you can be seated. Interestingly enough, I was talking to a friend of mine, and there was a new employee who came on board. I think it was like a recent graduate. And he was a manager. He was trying to walk this new employee through the retirement plan process. He said, our company will give you, say, example, 6%. If you put in, contribute 6% to your retirement, the company is going to match it by 6%. Okay? So it doesn't matter the percentage, right? I mean, I need to know if you want to contribute, if you want to put a percentage down. You know what his response was? My mom told me I ain't got to give y'all nothing. It's like, but you know this is free money. This is additional money on top of your salary, above your bonus, if you get a bonus, above stock options. You know what his response was? My mama told me that I don't have to give y'all nothing. Okay. Do you think that was wise? To leave behind 6% that the company is going to give you additional money? So I asked, will you take on the millionaire mindset and contribute? Say one day.
One day.
On day one.
On day one.
On day one.
On day one.
I am going to contribute
I'm going to contribute
the match, the company match percentage.
the company match percentage.
Why? Because at that point, you haven't started. You don't know how to live with that amount of money yet, right? So not having the 6% and doing that, for example, some companies do 9%, some companies may do 3 or 4%. I'm just giving you as an example. Because I know some companies do 6, some companies do 9. learned to live without it, and it's continued to accumulate, right? And what percentage would you be a part of millionaires?
76.
A good class. Good class. All right. Investing. Anybody investing now? Anybody have stock? We have stock here. Which company? What's your name? Can you stand up and let the person, so the person behind you can hear your name?
My name is Courtney Design. I like what you mean. I mean, I own a lot of stuff.
Stop. Just give me some company stock. What?
Pfizer, Ford. I definitely invest in, I'm from Atlanta, so I invest in a real estate company, Bird Communities. It's like focusing on what they do.
Okay, that's great. That's good. All right. And right here.
Darlene Hopkins, and I work for an investment company, so I have a lot of different stocks. I know one of them is Disney.
One of them is Disney. So there's a way where you can invest in stock externally, right? Just as Darlene mentioned, that she goes through an investing company who purchase stock and she pays them a fee. And also the young man here. Some companies have what they call an employee stock purchase plan. Has anybody heard of that, ESOP? Employee stock purchase plan. The companies that you are going to work for, the companies you are researching, check to see if they have an employee stock purchase plan. Because as an employee, you can tell them how much money of your salary you want to invest, what percentage. It could be 3 to 6%. It could be less than that. I think maybe the lowest is of course 1%. But I think some for high, it could be as much as 7, 8%. But as an employee, in the employee stock purchase plan, they will take a percentage, whatever percentage you give them, and they will give that to a brokerage firm who will purchase the stock for you, that company stock. So for example, Nike. My brother works for Nike, and they have an employee stock purchase plan. So he tells them how much percentage he wants to come out of his check. And they take that and they purchase Nike stock. The great part about employee stock purchase plan also is you don't have to pay the brokerage fees to buy the stock as if you were an external investor, right? So the company pays for all of those fees. The benefit for you is every 6%, every paycheck coming out is going towards your investment account. Now, the benefit of that, just like your retirement account, is if you leave the company, you take it with you. It doesn't stay with the company. Okay? The only difference is if you separate from the company and go to another company, you can no longer purchase stock, but that stock, that brokerage account is still yours. So you can sell the stock, you'll get dividends, and all of that wonderful stuff. Okay? Credit scores. We have some people who have credit cards. We'll talk about a little bit about credit scores. Credit scores determine your credit worthiness, right? Your score is based on your payment history. So how are you paying those loans back? How are you paying the credit cards back? Are you paying them on time? That's going to determine your credit score. Everybody knows about an interest rate. The cost of borrowing. You borrow a certain amount, there's an interest. And you have to pay the additional, the principal, what you borrow plus that interest. Is 24% a good rate?
No.
4%?
Yes. That's amazing. I love a 4%.
Yeah, 4% is good. 29, 24. It's expensive to borrow. That's what it is. A lower interest rate means what?
Higher interest.
Means a high interest rate. A high credit score means a lower interest rate. Where do you want to be?
High score. 750.
You want to be excellent. You want to remain excellent between 720 and 500. Because not only will you get a lower interest rate, right, to pay back, there's an opportunity for you to negotiate. So you can leverage your good credit score. I've had times where I've gone to buy something like car furniture or something like that, and say, oh, this is the price. Okay, well, let me run your application, let me run your credit report to see, what's your credit score. Like, okay. I ran my credit score and came back. Oh, okay, well, yes, this is the amount, let's do it. I'm not paying that. Because I know what my credit score is, and I have an excellent credit score. Like, well, this is what we have. Oh, is it? Okay, well, thank you, good night. You have greater leverage. You don't have to go there. You can go to a bank. You don't have to go to, just because you're buying a car, doesn't mean you have to finance through the car. You can finance through your personal bank, and they'll give you a better interest rate. Okay? How do you secure a good credit score? You have to pay your bills on time. Every time. Right? Simple enough? Don't get close to your credit limit. If you have a credit card limit of $3,000, don't max it out. It's a bad signal. You don't want to get halfway. So if it's $3,000, you don't want to spend $1,500. That's going to hurt your credit score. A long credit history will help your score. So say, for instance, you opened up a credit card as a freshman. Now you graduated on and you have your degree job and you're working. You're like, I don't need this credit card anymore. I'm going to get another credit card and cancel it. Don't do it. Because if you were a good steward of having that previous credit card and you paid it on time, it's going to help you with your credit score. All right? The other thing is you leave it open, buy a couple of things a year, pay it off on time, and you're good to go. Only apply for credit that you need. And you can always fact check your credit report. Sometimes errors go into these credit reports. You can go to freecreditreport.com to check your credit report for free, and they say you should do it annually. Student loans. I know we have a couple of people in here who have student loans. They are some of the largest bills that you will have as you have to pay back. But while you're in school now, you should think about only borrowing what you need. What was the first thing that millionaires don't do?
Overspend? Oh, try to impress.
They don't care about impressing people. Everyday millionaires don't care about impressing people. So they're not taking out extra money to get clothes and drive certain cars and things like that, right? We know what our financial goals are, right? So that's what we want to work towards. There are multiple repayment options. You can go to your financial aid office, bug them, find out what's the process, how do I have to pay back my student loans? A couple of things they'll tell you is you have to give the company, the lender, a percentage of your salary, right? And let them know that you want to take that amount out. Or if you have a hardship, they'll decrease that loan amount. But you should always do that. As far as some of the federal student loans, the Stafford loans, repayment is 6 months after you graduate. So they allow you some time to have a salary, get accustomed to having to pay bills and things like that before you have to start paying for the loan. The interest rate, we talked about the interest rate. The payment, the minimum balance in payment that they tell you is the principal plus the interest. And everybody knows what that is. Is there somebody who doesn't know what that means? We can clarify. Okay. And you want to pay off your student loans as fast as you can. So for the loan repayments, create your own personal financial plan so you can pay the loan back faster. I'll give you an example. If your student loan is $200 tell you that your minimum payment is $150. No, I said that backwards. If your loan payment is $150, but you created a personal repayment plan to pay $200, that $50, you should tell them to put it on your principal. Don't just send it in and say, I want to make a minimum payment of $200. Say $150 is for my minimum payment, the $50 is for the principal. Because what's going to happen is, it's not going to benefit you in paying off the principal. You'll end up still paying more money. And all of you know that your interest keeps going as long as you have a principal, right? So pay your principal. Sign up for the repayment plan that works best for you. Be aggressive, pay more than the minimum balance, that's that extra $50. If you can do an extra $100, do it, because that's more money you'll have in your pocket later. Use any extra money you receive to go towards that principal and pay your loan off fast. Any questions so far? Yes.
Do you feel as if, like, having a credit score and earning credit cards is necessary?
Do I feel like only having a credit card is necessary?
Well, not only, but let's say, for example, like, I didn't want to get credit cards because my mother, like, she never owned a credit card in her life, and I just want to make sure, because it's from a different country, that is it necessary over here to own a credit card?
So I'll tell you a couple of things. Growing up and reading all of these books and learning and being financially savvy, which I say all of you as becoming millionaires, is going to be important for you to read and become apt to the habits of millionaires so you can continue to grow and develop. I think having one credit card, a major credit card, is good. You don't necessarily, you could have one from a department store if you only feel like you're gonna, buy a couple of things. But the benefit of having like a major credit card is, incidentals or things happen. Like I've been out of the country. I went to Italy some years ago in Rome, and I took some money with me, but I needed some extra money. So it was beneficial for me to be able to use a major credit card. And with that, you build your credit score. So like I said, you don't have to use the credit card all the time. You use it maybe 4 times a year is sufficient, right? But the cash cows, and I'll tell you that's a term from Dave Ramsey and all of them, say that you don't need a credit card at all because your credit card still operates the same and you can use it the same as your debit card, your bank card. So it's really a personal decision. If you feel like at some point, you might need to buy some furniture, you pay it off in a couple of months, or you have to have new tires put on, and you don't have $1,000 or $500 saved up to pay for a new tire, then you can use your credit card.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So a couple of things about Pfizer, and I heard there was like some investments and things about Pfizer. Pfizer is roughly a $53.6 billion company as of the 2018 statement, because 2019 is not finalized, of course. Our purpose is to have medicines, breakthroughs that change patients' lives. Pfizer employs roughly 92,000 employees globally, and as you can see, these are some of the main products. You probably have seen some commercials, such as Chantix was one of the commercials that was ran during the Super Bowl. Ibrance, Lyrica, you see all the time, and one of the blockbuster drugs was Viagra. Now, I'm a finance manager for Pfizer, and you heard some of that. I do a lot of accounting, finance journal entries, budgets for the 4 therapeutic areas that I manage from a financial perspective, $50 million budget, forecasting quarterly, and things like that. What I want to share for you is that we do have a summer student worker program, and here are some of the specifics, and I've shared this with the NAVA chapter here, so you can all reach out to them. Or you can go to Pfizer.com, careers, opportunities for undergrads. You must have at least So at this time, I'll take other questions if there's any.
Being an investor advisor, I analyzed the company fairly well in my opinion, but, and I read back how during the recession, in 2008, like and on, the dividends were cut like almost 50%. And with recession possibly happening in the next 10 years, we think that's happening again.
Oh, I am not an investor, I'm not in media relations, but I can take that back to the company if you want to leave your email. Yes, I'm not in I'm not in investor relations, so I can take that back if you want to leave your name information. Anyone else? Yes.
Could you relay the locations for the summer program?
The locations for the summer program, there are locations all throughout the U.S. The only thing you have to know is you are responsible for housing and transportation. Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I've talked to a bunch of women who, I don't know how to describe it, but like, they say to like, if you're in a grocery store and you use your credit card, to like transfer it from your debit card to your credit card immediately, like, don't let it go to the end of the month or like accumulate, to always pay your credit card immediately as you use it. Is that, would you advise to do that instead?
It's a good practice. It could get redundant if you're using it all of the time. What is a good practice is to know when your payment is due. So if it's due on the 30th, then it would be good to go in and make the payment, say on the 25th, which gives you a couple of days before it's due, and you know it's settled in the bank and it's applied to your account. So I would say it would be hard unless you're on the phone all the time. You can use mobile apps, the mobile banking and all of that. But if you're busy like I am, I just don't have the time to constantly do that. So knowing when your payment is and paying it some days before will make sure that you pay it on time. Other questions? Does anybody use their mobile banking app?
Yes.
Do you use it to create budgets?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Spending.
Mhm.
I should start like that.
You should, because using those mobile banking apps, they track your spending and they tell you where your money is going to. And you can build a budget based on that, and they can give you alarms when, oh, you're going over your budget or this is behind. So that's a good point, yes.
So could you talk more about like negotiating your salary as well as some other benefits that we could look, that we should ask about when we're getting our salary?
Sure. So a couple of things you need to know is understand the position that you're going for. Do your research on the company. Understand the position that you're going for. You know they have the qualifications, right? For a lot of you starting out, going to your first job, you can still negotiate, but I wouldn't say be aggressive. Like when you get to the 5-year mark, the 3-year mark, things like that, then you can really start negotiating. But going in, maybe you give them an extra, $3,000 and say, oh, well, I've done the research on a salary. So you want to understand, as a graduate coming out of school, there's plenty of salary.com resources you can look into to understand what is the average paying salary for someone who is graduating from school, right? So then you know what does the market say? Because that is the information you need to provide for them. Like I did my research and the market shows that this is what's being paid for this position. Right, so you don't want to just say, no, I deserve to make more than that. No, you have to go in with your facts and your data. So do your research, talk to some other people who have started recently that you may know and let them help you and understand, what is the going rate for that salary. Yes.
What would you advise regarding, like,
traditional path is the traditional retirement account is good. I think that you have to look at the benefits of, do you pay the taxes up front or do you pay them after? And for me, it's being able to pay it up front because I want all my money in the end. So that's the part that I like. But when you are a part of the retirement plan at your company, you don't have that option, right? You are just paying into that retirement account. But when you leave, that's when you can take that money with you and you'll have to open up either a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA and let them know. And what you don't want to do is leave the company and you're vested and you get your retirement contribution and what the company put in for you. You take all of that money with you. You don't want to just say, oh, well, just give me the money, I'll take it. This is $5,000, $10,000. You know what I can do with that? Oh, Ms. Cook said I can go and buy my car that I want. No, because you'll have to pay 10% tax on that, and you don't want to pay taxes. You don't want to pay those taxes, so you want to take it and put it to another retirement account. Any other questions? Yes.
So do you guys offer like education enhancement?
Is that like graduate degree?
Like,
Okay, yes. So my company and a lot of Fortune 500 companies will allow you to go back to school to get your graduate degree, which helps you. I know my company has done $10,000 per year. So you only can take, I think, maybe 2 classes a time per year, but that helps you to avoid a student loan, which you won't have to pay out of pocket. And I know the trend now is a lot of students are going in their undergraduate degrees and they keep going, get graduate degree and get loans. But I would challenge you to go ahead and start working. Your company could have a tuition reimbursement that will allow you to go to school on their dime and you not have to pay for that. Excellent question.
I have a question. So, I heard somewhere where if you're gonna rent a house, you should be able to pay 3 months or have 3 months of rent in an account. I don't know if you want to shed more light on that. And secondly, can you talk about benefits or bonuses, especially like the sign-on bonus when you're about to go into the company?
Okay. Make sure you still got a little time. Do it, so keep me honest on time. So for purchasing a house, yes, lenders want to know that you have sufficient funds in order to pay the mortgage and pay for that house. So you should save up a certain amount of money because you have to have 10% or 10% or something like that to put the money down in order to purchase a home. So you want to have money saved up for the down payment. It may be 20%. I think it's 20% you have to pay down in order to secure the mortgage. And then you should have some money saved up for the mortgage. For your second question on benefits and bonuses, some companies will do sign-on bonuses, and that's when you got to a certain level, say you're 5 years in your career or 10 years in your career, and you have an extensive amount of body of work that you've done, and you're kind of known in your profession, and you have a lot of skill sets that they want you to come on board with. They will offer you a sign-on bonus. Some companies will offer it initially. Some companies you may have to ask and say, oh, well, do you offer a sign-on bonus? Because you want to understand the total compensation package, right? Some companies, so that's different than an actual bonus. There's some companies that have a bonus based on work performance. So you don't get a bonus if you're not performing well. So that's why it's key to make sure you're on top of things, you're checking with your manager to make sure you're meeting the expectations. You want to exceed expectations. And so that bonus will depend on how well the company is doing. One, because the company's not doing well, they can't pay you any bonus. That's number one. Number two, your work performance has to be at a certain level, at least where you're meeting expectations in order to get a bonus. So a bonus can range anywhere from 3-5% up to 25-30% when you are a VP of a company. So it just all depends on the actual position. Anyone else? Yes.
You may have answered it when you said about Nike, like when you sign up, not sign up, when you like get the jobs work there and you negotiate like getting a certain percentage invested into the company each paycheck. When I decide to leave, like something to me, like when I decide to leave the company, I know I still have those investments, but would I still be allowed to buy more of the Nike stock with the free commission, like where they have it?
The brokerage fees. So, right, as an employee, you do not pay the brokerage fees. When you leave the company, the account is still in your name. So say, for example, Smith Barney is the one who manages the portfolio account for the employee stock purchase plan. Once you separate from the company, you leave the company, they will contact you or you can contact them and say, I separated from the company, that you're no longer a part of that plan, and they will give you access. You'll still have access to go into your account. You can sell stock if you want to, but you're no longer able to purchase anything.